Welcome back, everyone. Well, sadly, it is the season of sickness for sure. We got to watch out for that. It tends to peak this time of year and then run right through the winter. While the cool weather has been nice these past few mornings, people with asthma could feel differently about that. Dr. Dominic Lucia, the Chief Medical Officer at McLean Children's Hospital, joins us this evening on what is the 11th anniversary of the hospital opening. That's pretty exciting. Let's first start with, how do respiratory viruses, cold weather, and allergies actually agitate asthma, Doctor?
Yeah, Chris, thank you for that. We've been very excited to be able to serve this community of Central Texas for the last 11 years at McLean Children's and look forward to many more. As far as all these things that tend to agitate asthma this time of year, you're right. They're all essentially asthma triggers, and it really depends on the patient. Each patient often has their own set of triggers. It can be the cooler weather, it can be allergies, it can be one of the many viruses that are going around right now. And most patients have a pattern, know those triggers, and it's best to avoid them.
Okay, so you know the triggers. Now, is there any way to avoid asthma flare-ups or full-on asthma attacks? We've all seen that friend where you just see him coughing and wheezing and you feel so bad for him.
Absolutely. Asthma is a challenging disease process because really a lot of times you need maintenance. There's not a cure per se, but it's maintenance with your own immune system. And your PCP or your child's pediatrician can really help with that. And it starts with being on a controller inhaler that they take on a daily basis. That's different than a rescue inhaler that they take when they're actually having an acute asthma flare-up. Beyond that, the things we talked about, you're going to realize your child's triggers or your own triggers, because when you're around dust, when you're around mold, when you're around cooler weather, when you exercise in cooler weather, or certainly when you get one of these viruses, you're going to notice that you're having an asthma attack. And so you're going to avoid these things if you can, and certainly when it comes to avoiding viral illnesses, washing hands and our hygiene that we've learned the last few years with COVID can really come into play.
Okay, doctor, when it comes to allergy symptoms, can those be confused for viruses, and what's the best way to tell the difference between the two? I'm sure they're easy to mix up, yeah.
Absolutely. Physicians struggle with this all the time, and certainly the patients at home can as well. General patterns we see with allergies: that clear nasal discharge, that itchy, watery eyes, that dry cough. And then when you talk about being infected with a virus, which is an infection, now it's different than a bacterial infection, which requires antibiotics, but viruses can give you a lot of the same symptoms. You can have a productive cough, you can have shortness of breath, you can have body aches, and certainly a fever would indicate that your body's trying to fight off a virus, which would be different than allergies.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, well, we're running short on time. Flu season is coming on the scene, of course. Winter flu shot's going to be available. I know people are ready.
Yeah, they're coming out all over the region right now. At McLean Children's and other Baylor Scott & White facilities on October 15th, we're going to have drive-through flu, but look for those flu shots and get them. We expect it to be a very rough flu season.
All right, Dr. Dominic Lucia, thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on 11 years of serving Central Texas. Really something to be proud of. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Now, as Dr. Lucia mentioned, Baylor Scott & White is offering flu shots. You won't even need to get out of your car for these. The drive-through clinic is October the 15th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Clinics will be in Killeen, Temple, and Waco, so take advantage of this. Head over to bswhealth.com/stopflu for more information. So good luck on that.